Hello, Americans! I'm Olivia Grillo. You all have heard about the witches in the Salem being burned, but do you know the rest of the story? The Salem witch trials were trials where accused witches got their punishments. These trials were to see if they were qualified or crazy enough to be a witch. It is believed that all witches in the trials were burned, but is that really true? No, not even close to being true. The truth is that in Massachusetts, they did not burn the witches, they just put them through a lot of pain that resulted to death. In Europe, they held trials that gave their punishment, but after they got their punishment and were basically dead, they would burn the remains to get all the evil spirits out of their presence. Ain't nobody got time for that devil. They would live a slow, long, and painful death, but nobody cared as long as you were there. Europe is where people got the idea that the witches were burned. The trials in Massachusetts were just beliefs from Europe. People who were accused of being a witch were often accused out of resentment from another neighbor. There was a type of drug that they could give a person, and it would make them delusional. They would scream and cry and would not stop, which made these people seem more like witches with the devil controlling them. After you have been accused, they bring you to a trial where they ask you questions and declare if you're a witch or not. More often than not, they would be witches and they would receive what their punishment was going to be. After that, they would bring them to the middle of town and hang them or crush them by rocks. But the crushing by rocks is only a wizard, so nobody cares. He ain't no witch. Most of the time, their punishment was to be hung in front of everybody. The only punishments that the witches received were death. They did not have a chance to explain themselves or anything else. When they took the witches to the middle of town, it was like a public event until people realized that there was no such thing as witches and that the witches were only burnt in Europe after they received their punishment to get rid of the devil's presence. Now you know the rest of the story.